Hello, my beautiful people. Thank you for joining me today. I need to talk to you guys about something that I talk about over and over and over again, but for some reason it is not getting through. So I'm trying to think of different ways to teach it or give you pamphlets and everything, but I just don't know how this is going to help. Anyway, the number one thing you must do, no matter what, 100%, when you are beginning to breastfeed, is to breastfeed every hour and a half to 2 hours. Whether you're tired, regardless of circumstance, I don't care who is in the room and what everybody around you is doing. You are breastfeeding every hour and a half to 2 hours. Your baby's tummy is like this big. Okay, so they get super hungry. And so stuffing them with anything else is not the answer. Okay, so we're going to feed them every hour and a half to 2 hours. And what that does is it tells your brain that you're feeding a baby. So this way, your brain is going to tell your body and your glands to make more milk. There are 100 tricks to the trade. You're going to learn how to latch, that nice C latch right there so the baby has a big gulp. Your baby isn't on your little nipple or your big nipple, because your baby's tongue actually pumps your breast, pumps it while they're feeding in order to get their milk. So the nipple is not doing the trick here. So your baby gets a big gulp every hour and a half to 2 hours of whatever size your breast is, big or small. If you do have a big breast, you might be looking for some support. You might be using a table or extra hands or something to kind of take a little bit of that weight off for this wee little baby. You may get your milk started first. But in order for all of this magic to happen, so this way your body produces the amount of milk that your baby needs, you need to be feeding every hour and a half to 2 hours. I know it sounds exhausting, but I promise you that you put this work in ahead of time and you do this up front, and you will have a strong, healthy baby, and you won't have any dishes to do because you're not going to be using bottles. And you're going to have a whole bunch of milk. You're going to be able to store milk, especially in this first week when your milk does come in, like the liquid stuff, not the golden yellow stuff that you're going to see on your first day. Okay, but when like day 3 or 4, when your breasts are like out to here and they're really heavy and they're in a lot of pain, grab that pump, feed your baby and pump. Feed your baby and pump. Do it for those couple days. I know you're going to be tired, but your baby is most likely sleeping a lot, so you have a little bit of time. Hopefully you have extra help around. If you don't have help, ask for it. You don't have to do this alone. But if you are serious about breastfeeding and you want to breastfeed your baby and you want to establish this milk, you have got to put that baby to your breast every hour and a half to 2 hours for that first 10 days. That is that message. Get it into your head. Every hour and a half to 2 hours, if you are 100% set on feeding that baby with your body, with your milk. You have to establish the demand. You are not going to breastfeed without it. On the first day, some lactation experts are going to tell you you need to have so many wet diapers and your baby needs to be on the breast for 15 and 20 minutes. I know that that's not everybody's experience. Some babies breastfeed for 5 minutes and they get everything they need. And some babies breastfeed for a half hour, 40 minutes, and they're getting what they need too. Some babies do wind up needing to be supplemented, and you know, there are so many different scenarios. But if your baby seems satisfied after 5 minutes, then maybe your baby doesn't need to be on the breast for 20 minutes. I know that was my personal situation. My baby feeds for 5 minutes and she's done, and she is a full-size, very strong baby, so that's okay. My other family members, on the other hand, babies are the same size, same you know, milestones and accomplishments, and her baby feeds for a half hour. So there's a little bit of flexibility there. Don't get psyched out if you're not on this like exact checklist, but the one thing you do have to do is start out by feeding your baby every hour and a half to 2 hours so you can establish your milk. That is it for today. That is the number one thing. Feed your baby every hour and a half to 2 hours when you are starting out. It is the number one most important thing. Well, actually, having a great latch does help, right? Because if you're feeding your baby every hour and a half to 2 hours, but you don't have a great latch, then you're kind of defeating the purpose. So, number one, work on your latch, but know that that also takes a little bit of practice and confidence. So when you start seeing your baby root, oh, you know, they're doing that, put your baby to your breast. If they're not rooting yet, but they're awake, know that they're going to be hungry soon, put your baby to your breast. Let them hang out, do the skin to skin. Let them smell your milk. And then as they start to root, when you see that open mouth, you take that baby's head and you put it onto your breast. Don't so much take your body in your breast and try to feed it to your baby, but you sit comfortably and you take that baby's head and you take that baby's wide open mouth and put it on to your breast. Every hour and a half to 2 hours. And with this recipe, you and your baby should successfully be able to produce milk and a healthy schedule to successfully carry on to a wonderful nursing experience for the both of you. Thank you for joining today. Any questions, comments, concerns, please give me a shout out. And if you believe that there was something more important than those two topics for you, we would love to hear about it. Teach your village what works for you guys. All right. Much love. Have a great day. Bye.